Hello and welcome, Elondria. Thank you for joining my show, you awesome lady.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Thank you. You was the CEO of Borg Collective in the past and was one of the founding executors of Genesis Federation, am I right?
Yeah, I was one of the founding executors along with Mama Saurus and Arya Evansong. We brought our entire Genesis community over here to Eve Echoes from Second Galaxy, the game that we were all playing together. And because the name couldn't be Genesis, because of I guess you can't name yourself after an actual region, it had to become Genesis Federation.
Oh, I didn't
So,
know
yeah.
that. Okay, so Second Galaxy, I did try it. I made a video about it. Why did you move from Second Galaxy, or did you actually know about Eve Echoes and just played Second Galaxy until Eve Echoes got launched?
Well, we had tested it out. A lot of the people from Second Galaxy had been waiting for Eve Echoes, but they'd played the alpha while playing Second Galaxy and then the beta as well. And Genesis as a community, we kind of went over to the beta, and we were all in the corporation get at the time because we didn't worry about an alliance. Just everybody just jumped into the same corp. We just all experienced the beta together, and it was just really a wonderful time, and we really enjoyed it. And I was extremely pro Second Galaxy. I loved that game, but I fell in love with Eve Echoes in the beta. And I decided that, yeah, I'm on board, because everybody was talking about, coming over to Eve Echoes and everything like that, and I was a little resistant. I wanted to stay in the game that I'd been playing. And so I played it, and I had an absolute blast in the beta. And, the CanU will never be like it was in the beta, in the live game now. It was just, it was an absolute amazing thing to fly in that beta, where we got to really test things out and preview things. And I was soloing level 7 Dead Spaces by myself just in that thing. So it was really great. And so I fell in love with the game, and so we all moved over here in mass and formed Genesis Federation, which, even though I'm not a part of it anymore, still stands to this day. So it's a testament to what we brought over.
It's a part of you, right?
It is. It's a part of me. It's a part of my history. I still have friends there. People who I would classify as family, because that's the way that works in this community. You get to be gaming with people for so long. You get to know their lives and things like that. And it's just, that's what the draw of a game like Eve is. It's, the game is wonderful, but you come for the game, you stay for the community.
Indeed. That's very true. Talking about Second Galaxy, what would you say is the biggest differences between the two games?
Well, I would say that Second Galaxy is a little bit more where you have to pay to do certain things, to get certain things. They have over time, made it to where you can grind out things better. But Eve is more sandbox. It's a subscription-based model, and so there's nothing hidden behind a paywall other than the subscription fee. That's a big difference, and the player trading and industry. Even though industry here in Eve Echoes has problems, there's not really much in the way of industry in Second Galaxy. It's more of a PVE PvP focused game. They massive fleet battles there and stuff. So there's a lot of similarities. You hold Saab, stuff like that, but it's different. It's just a different animal. It's a little bit more structured, whereas Eve Echoes is more player-driven story. We have the lore, but that lore pretty much ended at launch, and we're the lore now.
Yes,
Whereas
we are.
in Second Galaxy, they're the lore too, but there's a lot more structured events and storylines that are happening, that are dev driven storylines and things. And so that's a difference. But it is decidedly a sandbox-ish game. It's as close to a sandbox as you can get without actually being a sandbox. I guess the best way I can describe it. But it serves different needs. It's just like the people who play EE and play EO. They do different things in the two different games because they scratch different itches. The games are similar but different enough to where one you can do one thing in one game and it's different doing it in the other game, or you want to experience something else in that game because didn't really like the way it was in one of them, but it seems like it's easier to understand or easier to actually do and participate in the other. So it's just one big large space community is the way I see it.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, it is two different beasts. And they did actually nerf down Eve Echoes a lot from Eve Online, almost into the point where it's almost too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, there is something to be said for the oversimplification of an Eve environment. I think an Eve environment demands a certain degree of complexity. But at the same time, we do have to remember this is a mobile game, and it has to be designed for more mobile attention spans. And I would still describe Eve Echoes as spreadsheets in space for mobile, but it is a more simpler, but it still has some degree of complexity. I just hope that they don't keep on trying to make it more and more simple.
Yeah, when you said that it is an iOS game, like a mobile game, or I don't feel that it is, because it doesn't play like any mobile game. And I'm very happy that it isn't, because we don't need more AFK stuff, you know? Since they started creating this game that is so much more advanced than any other mobile game we have, we actually are not looking for the AFK mobile game players or the Bubble Witch Saga players. We don't really want those people. We want to have a game that can elevate people into a almost like a higher dimension into gaming for mobiles. And yeah, we kind of need that, and we don't have it. So we have a mix of a little bit too hardcore mobile game that doesn't suit most of the people that actually plays mobile.
Yeah, I do see what you're saying there. We don't want to play Farmville. That's not why we're playing this game. We're playing this game for the action dynamic or for the player interactivity, not for so people can AFK mine or AFK rat, and people do that. But this is Eve though, and though people can do that, what should be happening is, they should get blown up because they're not paying attention to local, they're AFK.
Yeah.
When people do that in high sec, I'm not really as concerned about them doing it in high sec because, well, it's high sec. And in any game environment, you do have the hardcore gamers, but then you have the what the hardcore gamers call the filthy casuals, the people who just don't take the game as seriously, maybe log in for an hour or two, 3 or 4 times a week. You know, they like the feeling of playing a little space game now and again, and those people want to hang out in high sec and occasionally you do little AFK things and throw things into the economy for the hardcore players to utilize for their hardcore gaming. That just it while it doesn't enhance the game that the hardcore gamers are actually interacting with on a daily real basis, their PvP and interactions in Null, for example, it does improve the overall game itself because the mere presence of those players adds something to the game. It doesn't add a lot because they're not really doing a lot, but that any game to be successful has to have those kind of players too, to kind of help be a little engine that keeps the economy from stagnating, especially in times of war when people are just fighting. They're not doing any kind of anything to sell stuff anymore. Maybe PvP loot, but eventually that dries up. You got to have people just doing the stuff that drives the economy in a casual basis in addition to the hardcore players. EO has that. There are people who just play casually. They'll come and go and things like that, but has a large chunk of hardcore players because it's a more hardcore game. But this is a more casual game, and it's one that we're lucky enough for those of us who are only on mobile. I'm not one of them, but there are a lot of us in the community who are only on mobile. They get a taste of being able to play in an environment that's similar enough to EO, so they get that taste of that hardcore environment, but on mobile. And we have to remember there are considerations we have to make, that the fact that it is a mobile game, and it has to be designed with a more mobile mindset. So we have to make certain allowances for those poor little folks who just want to live in high sec and never be shot. Fine, let them exist. As long as the game isn't geared towards them, it's geared towards the people who are driving the storyline and content in the game. Let those people do the little things that they want to do, but don't dumb down the game where that's all anybody can do. And I think that's what you're talking about, is the danger of that happening with a mobile game and dumbing it down too much. We don't want to see that, and I hope the devs don't ever take the game in that direction.
Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. And even though the game is not too casual today for most people to play it, it's also not too hardcore for the hardcore players. So we're in a mix where I think we should open up the game more towards casual people, but we should not make the game from what it is today. We should still have the hardcore players and have all the hardcore aspects that we do, but we should implement more stuff for the casuals, so that the casuals can live in high sec and maybe go into low sec and do some stuff if they're brave enough, and make everything living in the world, and to do that we need the story that we don't have, and we need some implementations in the game that we also don't have. Now, we did get the renting program, which was so much better than I was anticipating, because I thought this is gonna kill the game, but it was actually, I'm not sure if you feel this, but the rental game was fun for 2 weeks, I think, maybe. And the reason I stopped even using it is because the only thing that you did get was like 1,000,000 ISK or whatever, and then you got this soft drink stuff, which sucks. I mean, why not introduce like reputation or, something so you can do it for a faction, or why not have a longer goal with the idea? That would have been awesome. But yeah, we didn't get it, but it still wasn't enough. It's like half-assed or whatever you call it.
Yeah, and then of course there were problems with the event as well. There were all kinds of reports of people doing the ship rental, sending out ships that were fitted, and them coming back as just hulls. And all their stuff was gone, and the response from the dev team was less than stellar on that. There was a lot of it looks like you just packaged your ship. No, I sent it out on an event.
Yeah,
they made a mistake, and it didn't seem like they wanted to own up to it,
which is bad,
because they didn't. That's bad. It does mean that they're not playtesting these things that they're adding in at the level that they need to. Otherwise, that's something that they should have obviously seen. They should have tested it with a game environment kind of simulation, with a game environment, people have a bunch of rigged ships sitting around. They're going, if you tell them that they can use them, they'll use them. They'll send them out, and they'll expect them to come back like they sent them. So you should check to make sure that's going to happen. And whenever it started not happening, that should have been something that didn't make it through the testing phase,
Agreed.
It's like kind of like what you said, it's just floppy. It's floppy on the event.
Yeah. All right, we're already getting away from our points, but
okay.
But yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, okay, so let's talk a bit about you. Why did you name yourself Elondria?
Well, I've first off, I've been Elondria in games for, oh gosh, as long as I can remember. I mean, I had a Final Fantasy XI character named Elondria. It's also my middle name. So there's that.
Oh, okay. That explains it.
That it does.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's a good name. It's I've always been told it's very pretty and everything like that. So
yeah,
I've even told it sounds almost elven. So I'm big into D&D and RPGs and things like that. So a lot of the MMOs that I played prior to coming to the space game genre were you know, RPG MMOs like World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where the name kind of stuck as who I am as a interactive in the community, and it just kind of stuck, and I just kept on going. And in Second Galaxy, I did have Elondria, but my main was Elondria Firestorm, and the joke was always, if you see Elondria, the storm is probably not far behind, because Elondria was generally my Sino. So
All right.
yeah. So that's the way that rolled. But
Okay.
it's just the name I've used for a very long time. Either
All
that or
right.
Board Queen. I also use Board Queen pretty frequently.
Okay. So yeah, talking about characters, like which character am I talking to? Since you have more alts than I can imagine.
Well, we discussed this, and today we assigned actually Elondria, so you are getting to speak to the main today.
Perfect. How are you doing, girl?
Doing good.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, but you have a lot of alts, right? You have many accounts.
I do, and word on the street is you cannot fit me all in one fleet.
That's a good word. I think treating you as one person, you're the one that I would not want to meet at a gate camp.
Yeah. I didn't get to use my Thanksgiving fleet as much as I wanted to. It was a Guardian and some Logi, along with turkeys and potatoes, prophecies and dummies.
Yeah.
It's turkey and potatoes and all the trimming. So yeah, it was really great.
Everyone call Dominic's a potato, and I always say it looks like a shoe. But I'm the only one.
Yeah, but I like the fact that it's a potato. I like potatoes, and for some reason they seem to want to call those ships food. Just like prophecy. Why did it become turkey?
Yeah, true. You have been many places in Eve-Echoes, but now you're in OG Alliance with your Corp Sith Collective, right?
Yeah. I am a proud unicorn.
How do you like OG?
I like it. There's a lot of good people in OG. I have old friends there too. People who I used to play Second Galaxy with. We were actually on opposite sides at times, but I've never been one to go around being rude to Reds, because I've always subscribed to the philosophy even before I really understood it, that just because somebody's red to you in a game, they're your game enemy. That doesn't mean you can't be friends. I'm an old school gamer. Back in the days of consoles and arcades, you played 1v1. And you fought each other or opposed each other in whatever the little video game was, and then afterwards, no hard feelings. Whoever won. Maybe there was a little trash talk, who knows? But there wasn't the kind of lines that had to be drawn to where you have to other people just based on their tag or their personal diplo settings at that particular day. So I always try to be respectful and kind to my game enemy. And so I have a lot of friends in all sides.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I think that's it's healthy. I mean, in game, of course, if you're red, I shoot you. I mean,
exactly.
Unless you're blue, I shoot you. I mean, I shoot everything. But as soon as we're on a Discord or whatever, I'm friends with everyone. I mean, and like also in game, I say thank you for the fight, even if I get like dropped or whatever happens. It's just a game, and you play your part. But I mean, taking it to the person on the other side of the screen, it's never good.
No, and sometimes people they get so attached to their little digi stuff that they forget that it's a person on the other end of that. Try to do the same thing and just have fun. And generally speaking, there's always that one person. But generally speaking, people aren't just going around trying to make your day worse. They're just going around playing the game. And it is a PvP game. And if you happen to be on the wrong end of PvP that day, well, try harder next time. Do something different. Learn from what happened and do better. Because the goal in any game should be to improve one's ability. And if you got popped, figure out why. Were you not watching local? Were you not paying attention? Did you not keep your orbit going? Did 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 you get scrammed out and not have an afterburner? I mean, any number of things that could have gone wrong. You should be learning from. You shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't be mad at the person because they beat you that time. It's
Yeah,
a
of
game.
course.
There are winners and there are losers. And if somebody beats you, just learn from it. Try to beat them next time.
Elondria, have you watched
That's
my
it.
PvP videos? You're saying exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, any fight is a good fight, even if you lose. I mean, of course you can be upset or angry, but I mean, if you don't do anything with it, then you would just lose again.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to work to improve yourself, and in order to improve yourself, you have to do. And sometimes, whenever you do, you fail. Sometimes
Yeah.
in life, you try something and you fail at it. But what you can do from that, just in game and in life, is take that failure and learn from it. Try again and do better. It's that simple.
It is. It really is. Have you been active in EVE Online? Or are you in EVE Online now?
I am. There are 5 of me there that everybody knows about, and some of me that people don't.
All right. Did you start EVE Online because of EVE Echoes or Second Galaxy, or how did that start?
I started back in December. I decided that I loved the EVE universe and EVE experience so much that, and because the devs, there's always a risk that you're just going to do something catastrophic to kill the mobile game, because it is a mobile game. I decided I needed to be able to still play EVE. I still needed to be able to get my EVE fix, so I created characters and started skilling them, started getting them going, so that if the worst case scenario happens, I can have a backup plan. But in addition to that, I wanted to experience the other side. If you play EVE Echoes, you're always hearing EO vets talk about the differences, talk about the way that EO is different than E. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to see those differences and experience those differences for myself. So for all of those reasons, I made EO count. And of course,
All
I
right.
made ones that people don't know about because I'm me. So go figure.
Aha. Yeah, I
Definitely.
played it many years. So, but yeah, I stopped it as soon as EVE Echoes launched. I was like, yeah, I'm done, because I played it so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, EVE Echoes is beautiful. It's a very rich environment with a lot of lore, and there's so much to do. So if you have kids and you have a family, you cannot really play it unless you are in a very casual guild, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm exploring both the nullsec alliances, because I did join one of those, and I'm exploring the quote unquote filthy casual side of EO by just parking some of the things that nobody knows about into casual places so that they can casually skill up. And just one thing I enjoy about my ability in EE. I get to see so much. I want to do the same thing in EO. I want to experience all aspects of the game, all sides, just because that's fun to me.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have a good time.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I have a 5-year plan.
A 5-year plan? Oh shit. Yeah. That sounds like me. I have big plans as soon as I do anything. So yeah, that's good. That's very good. That will keep you playing. Very good. Yeah. It's not a long time ago, but you was in Happy Bees within Pantheon and together with me. But yeah, that turned ugly, if you ask me. And we're not here to discuss it, but I feel some wrong decisions were made. But anyway, you were saved by Red 1 in SHH. They gave you a home for a while, so how did that go?
Yeah, and it went really well, and you have to understand that while we're not going to rehash it, I did leave Pantheon as a refugee. So I came to Red 1 as a refugee, and they opened their home to me very graciously and made me family. They're such a wonderful group of people in Red 1. It was truly an honor to be in the same corp as Rambo. He's a great guy. He's a fun content creator, and he's just fun to be around. It was really great because I wouldn't have had a place to go. I truly was a refugee in need of a home because I had nowhere else to go. There was no, given the circumstances of my departure, I didn't have a lot of options, and yet he took a chance, opened his home to me, and allowed me to be able to still play the game that we all love, and I will be forever grateful for that.
Um, why did you leave?
Well, that's the thing. I started in Genesis. I was the CEO of an industrial corp. Moved into Pantheon again, still CEO of an industrial corp. But when I left, I was not the CEO of an industrial corp, and I was really trying to find my way. And I started another corp because I really enjoyed the corp experience. But I really didn't want it just to be another sob corp. That's that's not the experience I was going for. I was craving something different, a different experience, and I connected up with some of the guys over in No Please Stop, and I got to know Immortals from being on roundtables with him on a Rambo show, and I just got to talking to him and everything, and he allowed me to stick an Alton Dead and to kind of taste the life over in No. I found that it was a desirable thing that I wanted at that point in my game career. So I decided that it would be a good place to take my corp for to try and build the type of corp that I wanted. Um, so that's why I ended up leaving. I left on good terms with Silent. It wasn't a bad breakup. Silent didn't do any bad things to me in my departure. It wasn't one of those things where you know how people get really salty and you're like, show me on the doll where they hurt you. There was none of that. It was a parting, but it wasn't a anything kind of bad. It was just I needed to go a different direction, so I needed to move somewhere else, and that's why I left.
Yeah, understandable. So you got into No, and then you got kicked for fictional reasons. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is Eve, and politics is a thing. When you have disagreements with the executorship, sometimes politics will kick in. Um, that's when I say fictional reasons. There's a fictional story. I have a lot of friends, and no, I do. People who I still consider family. I have had a disagreement with the executorship, and it did result in my being what I call black bagged and thrown in a ditch. I went to bed Friday night. No. Woke up Saturday morning. Not no. Nothing in my DMs, nothing said. All very hush hush. But
Mm.
this is Eve. Stuff like that happened. And I'm not going to dwell on it because if I take the same kind of path that I took with Pantheon, uh, seeking a way to exact revenge, attacking Pantheon was a thing that I did to help my side, but I enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie, because I did get removed in dubious circumstances, but when I did that, I hurt a lot of people that I cared about. So I'm not going to go that route again. I'm really not. I still care about No. I do. As an organization, I had an absolute blast of a time there. And I have a lot of friends there that I still talk to.
All
So,
right.
yeah. I'm not going to sit around and talk bad about them or anything like that. It's something bad happened to me. It was Eve politics. It was stupid. It was wrong. But I'm a unicorn now. I'm an OG, and I have to tell you that they've been trying to recruit me from day one. So I'm not somewhere where I'm not wanted, because there are people there who want me there. There are
That's
people
nice.
there who are my friends. There is a community there that I can be a part of. You know,
Yeah.
that's why we play this game, and it may not be the community that I thought I was going to be a part of, but that doesn't make it a bad community to be a part of. I've been enjoying getting to know some of the people who I've known in the game, but I've get to know them better because I'm in comms with them daily. You know, it's also a new experience. I've had a rather unique perspective on things, having been in Gen, Pantheon, Silent, No, now OG, and then you factor in all of my alts and all of my experience on them. I mean, I was in GHA. I witnessed the fall of GHA as a line person in GHA. I mean, I've had experiences of that other people have had in the game from the line person perspective, in addition to all of my visible experiences as well. I have experienced so much in Eve Echo's history from different perspectives, in addition to being able to live in and be a part of so many different communities. And people can say what they will about Genesis, people can say what they will about Pantheon, people can say what they will about Silent, people can say what they will about No. People can say what they will about OG, where I am now. There are going to be a couple of bad apples in any organization. There are substantially more good people. Every one of these communities has something to offer the people who are in it. Otherwise, they wouldn't exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's always bad apples everywhere.
No, there definitely are, and all we can do is as fellow gamers is say quit being a bad apple, or you're going to have to go be a bad apple somewhere else. That's all we can do.
Yeah. So you've been pretty much everywhere, I feel, but if I would ask the question like, what's the biggest differences between the places you have been in? Like, for example, like Red One, or like in Silent or whatever, or No Please Stop. Like, what can you somehow see like what kind of difference they are, or are they pretty much the same, just different people?
That's the thing. There are far more similarities to all of these places than differences, because we're all gamers. We're all here to enjoy the content that we enjoy in the game, and we're all here to play this game. Different organizations are geared towards different aspects of that. One organization may focus mostly on industry, so if you're in their comms, you're hearing talks about building ships and pie structures, and then the differences between different rigs in an industrial setting. I mean, you're hearing it's a different environment, but it's still an Eve environment. It's still a good environment. It's still filled with good people enjoying and playing the content that they love, but it's different content. And if, say, you go to a place like a PvP organization like No, that there you'll be sitting in comms, and the content is a gate camp, and it'll be conversation punctuated by explosion, where somebody drops into the gate camp, you call comms, you kill them, and then you move on and continue your conversation and laughter, and you talk about what the loot that you just got. I mean, it's a different environment because it's focused on different things, so that focus is really what the difference is. But at the core, they're all gamers having fun and enjoying the content in this game that they enjoy. So really, there are a lot more similarities than differences, but there are definite differences, and it's really, a lot of it is content driven in the way that they enjoy the game.
So what do you enjoy most doing in Eve?
I enjoy a little bit of everything, but I have to say, I enjoy the meta. I really do.
Oh.
I love diplomacy. I love intelligence. I love politics, even when it bites me on my butt. It's fun. Before I got sick, because I am disabled and can't work now and everything like that, because life throws you loops. But
So not to be nosy, but what kind of disability do you have? Something?
Well, I mean, I have Addison's disease, I have fibromyalgia, I have hypothyroidism, I have seizure disorder, I have gastrointestinal issues, I have some physical damage due to some car accidents that have caused back and shoulder issues and things like that. But all of these things put together, I went from being able to dance the night away to walking with a cane, using a walker, and now I've been in a wheelchair since I was 35, 46 now.
So yeah, I'm not good at understanding everything there. So you were in a car accident, right? Is that why it happens now?
The car accident, while the injuries they healed, because of all the other things that are wrong with me, they became chronic conditions in and of themselves. Like my back got screwed up, so with the ramped up pain sensitivity of fibromyalgia, that just makes the matters worse.
So you got your problem when you were born, and then it got worse with a car accident, or am I just Oh, okay,
well,
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I've had fibromyalgia my whole life. It didn't start until giving me problems until I hit puberty, and that's when the pain started and everything like that. But it was only the first condition to raise its head, and that would happen whenever I was just a teenager. So I can remember having the fibromyalgia pains whenever I was 11 and 12. That was the first thing, and then as I got older, other things started to raise their head. Addison's disease affects the endocrine system. It's the adrenal glands. They don't work right. They don't produce the proper hormones. Our bodies are hormone driven.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem there. And then of course my thyroid went, and again, endocrine system. So it's a lot of endocrinary problems that I have. That's why I spend so much time in the game, because I have no life. I spend my days in bed most of the time on the computer. So and part of that is a boon, because it allows me to do things in the game that others don't have time to do. But part of it's a bane, because it makes me so attached to the game. I don't have a social life outside of New Eden.
Yeah, I understand. You're pretty much living in the game, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I exist in New Eden. That's how I can be so many people.
That's a good fucking place to be, if you ask me.
Really is.
But yeah, okay. So yeah, I'm really sorry to hear this. How did like COVID affect you? Nothing, right? Because
I was social distancing before it was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
I got it.
Put it.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, the biggest effect it had on me was whenever because I for years I've had to order stuff online to get stuff shipped to me, because I can't exactly go out to stores and go shopping. I ordered something that I would normally order, in that same type of thing, and it took it 3 weeks to get here instead of 2 days shipping.
Yeah, okay,
So
I get it.
that's pretty much how. And whenever I would send out to the store, I wouldn't always get the things that I wanted, because issues in stores. And it was harder to get somebody to go to the store, because they had to stand in line and masking and restrictions.
Yeah.
And so I didn't experience it, but the people who go to the store for me, to the grocery store and stuff like that, they experienced it on my behalf.
Okay.
And so I've never been ashamed to talk about it. And so much so that in Second Galaxy, there was a particularly toxic group in Second Galaxy that used to tease me for being in a wheelchair. They used
That's
to go
so weird.
deep.
How people do that.
Yeah, and just make fun of me for being in a wheelchair. So, but I've never been hidden it, because it's a part of who I am. So why hide it? And people should probably know, or the reason why I'm always around is because I'm always here.
Everyone's different, and when you say people tease you for being in a wheelchair, is like that's kind of stuff that I see on like video, because that doesn't happen. Yeah. For me, it's so rare.
Yeah, and at the time I was in Genesis, and
all right.
Yeah, Momosaurus tore into him for it. So
I would too. They would be kicked
yeah.
fucking hard. But
Yeah, well, they were the opposing side, and
oh, okay.
we fought wars.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
just for that.
you know, good and bad. You know, it really sucks to be made fun of, but when the people in your community rally behind you because of it, it's always a good thing.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much for telling me though.
Problem. And here's the thing, too. I haven't, you know, I do have a lot of free time, but I do spend a lot of it in New Eden. So while I've checked out some of your content, I've also, you know, kind of talked to people about your content too. Your content is good. You put out really good stuff, and so I kind of trust the product that you're going to put out.
It's gonna be good. Don't worry.
Yeah, good stuff, and you always do good work. So I know
Thank you.
Whatever so it is, I'm going to be thrilled to watch it, and you better believe I'm going to make time to watch this one.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I think people need to remember, you never know what the person on the other end of the screen is going through. A lot of people, like you know, I do, and with my disability, I use New Eden as an escape. I live in New Eden because I don't live in the real world too well because of my situation. Some people, you know, they have, you know, home lives. I even know somebody who plays EE from a shelter.
Oh yeah.
You never know what people are going through. That's why it stuns me that some people are just so mean to people just for no other reason than they feel they can be. They find something. If it's not a disability, they'll find some other difference with which to use as a crucial to bullying, to pick on them. And you know, we're all here to escape, but you shouldn't turn your escape into something where you just hurt others to make yourself feel better. Some people do that, but really, it's just people should just remember we're all people. It doesn't matter what side we're on, who's at war with who, or anything like that. That's just part of the game, but we're all people. People should be treating everybody respectfully, whether it's red, blue, gray, purple.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, this is a game. I mean, people don't know who you are. So you can go in and you can be like a bitch. And without any real consequences. I mean, in Eve Echoes you do get consequences, but in other games you don't. And it might be that people who really are like idiots, then I would just think that those people have a really bad life outside the game. And this is the only way for them to do anything to get to feel the other side. And so I kind of feel bad for people who say something bad. Like, I also hear bad stuff sometimes, and I have a hard time taking it personally. I just look at it and I be like, oh man, he has a problem, man, and I'm sorry for him. Like, when you're playing a game, you most often want to be like either something you're not, because you want to try something new, like a space pirate, because I could never shoot someone, so I want to be a space pirate because I can shoot someone here. But other people just play the game and trying to feel better by hurting other people.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stay away from them. And in a game like Eve, you're not gonna survive. Trust me, those people are gonna be gone.
Yeah. Yeah, because eventually they're just not going to have anywhere to go. That kind of person just is a toxic pill to any organization they're a part of, and eventually they have to leave.
Yeah. Well, they are going to leave because it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
So they go to another game and they start it all over. So, but yeah. So yeah, I asked you what you enjoy most doing in Eve, and do you do PvP? You're in fleets, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Although a lot of times, like in the big fleet battles, both because I can't do the big fleet battles very well on emulator, and because a lot of times I'm working Intel, I'm usually not on grid, just because as hard as it is for you hear the people that anchor up. Yeah, well, if you're in 4 other windows at the same time, you're trying to keep anchored up, it becomes very difficult. So in the big fleet battles, I'm not really on grid a lot of times. I'm the person in the command center letting the FCs know all of the information coming into the command center. But I love small game PvP. I like roams. I don't get to do as many as I would like. but I enjoy roams. I like gate camps. I enjoy PvP. In Second Galaxy, I was a PvP CEO. Borg Collective there was a PvP organization.
All right. And you never play on your phone or a tablet?
Well, I have a phone that can run the game, but my eyesight is such that seeing the tiny little text on my phone is incredibly difficult.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So maybe if I had a big, huge tablet where I could see things better, I could actually play on a tablet. And maybe I could actually play a tablet where I could actually do the big fleet battles. Because in Second Galaxy, I loved the big fleet combat. There was one that I was in a capital ship, and I had 65 kills, including another capital ship, that battle. It was just absolutely incredible.
I've seen some videos of Second Galaxy, like these fleet battle videos, and they look awesome, but I don't like the ships. I don't think they're beautiful enough, but
well, their ships are, they've got some really good things, and they've got some skins that change the baseline, kind of dullish ships into some really cool stuff.
Oh, okay.
And if you're interested in checking out other games, I can hook you up with the content creators over there, and you can talk to them and even go and film some of the big battles and see what's going on if you wanted to experience it, even as a relatively new player over there without a big huge account.
Yeah, I have been talking to God's Eye, if you know that guy.
Oh, God's Eye is great. That is exactly who I would first connect you up with.
Yeah, I got him, man.
Over there.
I got him. Yeah, he's been talking to me. We've been talking a lot about Second Galaxy when I tried it, and yeah, he showed me some videos, and yeah, we've been talking a lot, and we are gonna have a podcast about the differences between Eve Echoes and Second Galaxy. He's a really nice guy. Awesome. I really like it. Yeah. So how do you know that guy?
I'm actually in his alliance.
All right.
We were longtime allies whenever I was in Genesis. He was over in Red Rum, and then there was problems in Red Rum. He actually changed sides, and for a while we fought. For a while we fought a lot on opposite sides because his organization became an enemy of Genesis, so we were on opposite sides. And then I went back over there and turned the lights back on my little SG Empire, because I still have 8 corporations over there. And I flipped the lights back on and started turning things back on and connected back up with him. And even though we were enemies when I left, he welcomed me back, helped me set up. And whenever things were just too hectic and Eve for me to devote the time to rebuild an empire in SG, he welcomed my organization into his. And I've been a part of a corporation in his alliance, and talk to him on a regular basis. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah, he is. And I don't even know him. I've just been talking to him, and I really enjoy it. Every minute of it when we sit and talk, like on Discord or writing to each other. But I just love the fact that you come from another game and you bring a bunch of people over to Eve Echoes, and the reason for me liking that part so much is because when I started Eve Echoes, I made Discord actually that you're in right now, and this was the corporation Discord that we had. And when people come and left, like during winters and stuff, they didn't just leave the corporation. They kind of left a part of my heart, they just left, and they started another game, and that was like, it was cool, but I kind of missed them, So I made my Discord into a gaming Discord instead, where we have Eve Echoes, but we also have all the other games. So if you start another game, you can just make a new channel and a new text part where you can post new pictures, and we can still be friends, and I can watch your new content or whatever. And I just love that you bringing like people from one game all the way to another game. That is pretty much how I want everything to be. Like, if Eve Echoes dies tomorrow, I would like everyone to like move to another game, right?
Yeah.
Because even though the game dies, the person you've been playing with in such an intense game like Eve Echoes, or EVE Online, or most games today, even WoW players, I actually started WoW 2 weeks ago when they sold it to Microsoft. I was like, okay, something's gonna happen, so I will start again. I've been playing it since vanilla up to like Lich King, and then I stopped because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then I come back
in
now.
Lich King.
And you start? Yeah, you stopped also.
I stopped during Lich King. I didn't make it to. I think it was Cataclysm or
Yeah, me
something
neither.
like that. That came out. I was gone by then.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, same here.
I played WoW for years. I at the time Eve launched. I had heard about Eve, and I'd played a game called Freelancer, which was
Oh, yeah, I like it.
very early type of space game that had
Yeah,
little roots of things that you could see were hints of what could be, and Eve kind of lived up to that and more. It was that kind of free-form space flying environment, but with gates and structures and different types of ships and skills and stuff like that. It was cool, but yeah, I wanted to play, but I didn't have any kind of hardware at the time it came out to even be involved in that.
all right. So you started WoW.
And by the time I did, it had already been. I started WoW because I'd been playing Final Fantasy 11 with my brother on the PS2, and so that was we decided that this game's getting kind of old. Let's go to WoW, because he really wanted to play WoW. So I went to WoW with him instead of because I got a computer and everything like that, and so I was like, okay, we'll play WoW. So we played WoW, and I did never get into Eve. I figured it was way too late to get involved. It had been out for years at that point, and I like to get involved in games early that require a structure like that. It was not like WoW where you can kind of pick up on the expansion and just kind of work your thing, and there's PvP, but it's not the focus of the game, and building up an empire isn't a thing.
Yeah, it's different.
So it's different. It's a different kind of MMO. So, but in an environment like that, I got into Second Galaxy at launch. I got into Eve Echoes at launch.
Yeah.
I like getting in on the ground floor, so to speak.
Oh yeah, same here. But yeah, I didn't start. I didn't play Second Galaxy. I didn't play Second Galaxy when it launched, because I watched it and I was like, not really Eve, So yeah, I didn't start it. But I did like a year after or whatever. I did try it, but yeah, even in World of Warcraft, where as I said, I just joined it, and like a guild was PM me, and they said, are you looking for a guild or whatever? And I was like, yeah, I guess, but I wasn't really looking for one. But they said, okay, so you like, what do you want in the game? And to be honest, I didn't want anything really. I just wanted to like see how it is, like 16 years later or whatever. And so I typed to them. I said, well, I want gold, expensive pets, and a lot of mounts, and have a good laugh and a couple of beers. And they said, yeah, sure, jump on. And I joined them, and they were like this hardcore dungeon farming group. And they said something like, okay, just level up to 60 and join us, and we're gonna have some fun. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that, because I'm just gonna be here having a good time. And they switched their side, and they'd be like, oh yeah, sure, well, that's fine, jump on our Discord and just talk. And I did. And it turned out that this guild was 15 years old. They have had people like ever since like vanilla, like the start of the game, all the way up today. And some people were left, and some people had come in through the years, and they still were buddies and hanging. And they started as kids, and now everyone had families. So we just sat there and talked, and we heard the kids in the backgrounds from everyone. And it was really, really nice. I mean, why would you want to leave those people from WoW to go and do something else in another game and not bring them with you, right? So So yeah, I think it's amazing. I think it's very important to keep the people around that you play with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. May I ask, how do you pay for your ships in game? Do you earn do you earn ISK in the game by playing, or have you been paying the game from the start?
Well, I pay my subs, but I run so many, I can't pay for all the subs. I live on 800 and something a month because I'm on disability. So
Oh,
I do I utilize a lot of passive income. Planetary helps, and
yeah.
then I have my mining fleet, and then I'll do other stuff when I can. I don't. I try to play as much as I can, but I don't get to play as much as I want to, or even as much as I used to. I used to play a lot more. I used to sit there and mine for 12 hours. So uh, I had resources that I've been draining over my time in No. So I got to do some rebuilding.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. So yeah, it's hard to actually. I mean, even if you take 10, it's quite tough to earn enough for the sub, which is I mean, that's the way the Plex works right now, and I mean the Plex are supposed to be more expensive all the time, but so should the items be, and they don't. So it's a very big problem.
Yeah, it is.
So, talking about problems, how do you think Eve Echoes runs today? What would you change, or what do you like? Like, what's the best parts, and what's the worst parts?
Well, I mean the best parts are just the ability to do anything. The unstructured environment of a true sandbox. Eve Echoes, it really is a true sandbox. But that's really the best thing about it. Everything is so player driven. You wake up and you don't know what's coming because what's coming is whatever the community decides is coming. So that's really a wonderful thing about this game. It could be better though. Like I always talk about the Halloween event that we had. That very first Halloween event we had. That was great. That was content perfect for the type of game that Eve Echoes is. It was wonderful and gave me hope for the type of events that we would have that kind of drive the content and as we're driving the story, it gives us something to do as we have lulls in the story. You know, it's the PvE content that we kind of need to fill in the gaps of the political sandbox and the moves of alliances and just to have something different than to just shoot rocks all day or just shoot the same rats all day. You know, it could be more fresh, I guess is the point.
Oh yeah, the Halloween event, that was amazing. You know, they started on the top. It was so good, and yeah, and me coming from EVE Online and I see that event and I'll be like, oh, I know exactly what's gonna happen during the years. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, nothing even close. Nothing even close. I had high hopes for the Frighter events when they started announcing that, but I was cringing like everyone. Oh my god, that was so bad.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Now you understand why I haven't been able to watch all of your videos as much as I like your content.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I got a lot of free time, but even I have limits on my free time.
It's incredible how much people look at it. I mean,
Great,
I had
good stuff.
I had no idea. Yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
haven't found anybody who says anything negative about your content. Because if I'm going to appear on a show, I'm going to make sure it's not going to be something where I'm going to be spun and it's something like that. And you know, I already knew you and I knew your content, but I just wanted to find out kind of what people thought because that's important too. Because you know, sometimes whenever you like somebody, you don't see things that maybe you should. So
Yeah,
it
true.
being Eve, I did a back check. And,
Yeah, good.
And nothing but positive stuff about you, Sheep.
Man.
Positivity.
Yeah, you're making me blush.
Yeah.
I think
So
yeah.
it's great. It's really great, and so that makes it not only am I happy to do your show, it makes it an honor to be on your show, because I become a tiny little part of an episode that is part of something that everybody speaks highly of and is wonderful, and so it's an honor and a privilege, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I'm so happy you had time, and yeah, even though I've had 2 weeks of pretty much no voice, uh, it's so weird. I got COVID, and then I got bad, and then I got better for a week, and then I got bad for 2 weeks. It's like, and I
Oh,
got all the shots, so it's not like I'm not that sick. I could work, kinda, but it's still I'm sick enough for not like looking good on the work. So
yeah,
I'm at home. I can't do any content that I want to do because I can't record my voice. So I have to do this different content that I don't.
yeah,
I mean, I'm trying, but I feel healthy. But it's just like my voice is just weird. But yeah,
yeah.
I wanted to say, I wanted to show you, like, not now, but I will link you a video that I made that not many people have watched. As I say, my YouTube is new and I try different stuff. So I made a video because I know that when I put out Eve Echoes content, then people watch it. If I make another content that is not Eve Echoes, then people don't watch it. And I understand why. So I did an Eve Echoes content where it wasn't apparent that it was Eve Echoes content. And that video was called Biggest Space Game on Mobile 2022. And people, when they see that, like the thumbnail, they'd be like, I'm not gonna play anything else than Eve Echoes, so I'm not gonna click it. But it's all about Eve Echoes. So,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about stuff that I would like to see in the game and what I think will be in the game in the future. And I think if you see that, I think you will agree. It's a happy future, maybe, for Eve Echoes. I think
Great.
you would like it. Yeah. So I will
Yeah,
link
yeah,
that for
I'll
you.
check it out. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
What is your vision of Eve Echoes in the future before you watch my video?
Well, I see Eve Echoes as being a place where uh, people who no matter their play style, whether it's the hardcore EO style play or the mobile style play, can get together and mingle in a single community. I really see Eve Echoes as being the I hate to say it, friendlier alternative to EO. And by friendlier, I don't mean like it's a land of Care Bears or something like that. I mean it's a more family friendly because you can pick it up and put it down and still do the family life stuff that you need to do. Whereas in EO you can't be there and battle for 3 days because I've heard about battles that have lasted for days. People have gone to sleep, woken up, and oh, good, I'm still on grid.
Yeah, yeah, maybe, yeah. But they
Yeah,
do, yeah, go on for a long time.
yeah, and it's EO requires a certain level of intensiveness. It's more difficult to effectively accomplish anything of note in EO and play casual.
Yeah,
I mean, you can have fun with the game, but you can't get into the diplo and politics and other parts of the meta itself, the game above the game, as I like to call it. That you can in Eve Echoes on a more casual basis. Eve Echoes, just by its design, makes everything more accessible. And while there are people who it does cause some sleepless nights and some alarm clocks and all sorts of things. Those are the people who did far more whenever they would play EO. A lot of the EO vets who this is a more casual play for them, but it's casual hardcore. It's very difficult to be casual hardcore in EO. You're
yeah,
either casual or you're hardcore. It'll suck you in. But just Eve Echoes by design is designed to be able to be put down and do other stuff. If you need to go 30 jumps, you set your course and you can go and do other things on your phone. Go make your kids their supper, whatever it is that you've got to do.
yeah,
And then you get a notification that says you've arrived at destination, and then you can log in and go do your little roam or whatever it is you were going to go do.
yeah,
It's designed to be more casual, and because of that, I think it's going to be a place where the hardcore and the casual can intermingle and be a part of the same community and play off of each other's strengths. And you know, I think that's going to be a wonderful thing. And I think there's some growing pains with it. I think there's, some of the hardcore players still refer to the casuals as filthy casuals. But
It's just a word.
Yeah, but I think that as the game gets older and people get more into a groove and onboarding new players, and we'll continue to get new players, becomes easier because you've got veterans who understand how to tell them how to enjoy the game. And they're not going to have the same struggles and hurdles that we had early on figuring everything out, because there was nobody who came before us to teach us. All we had to go on is EO as a guide. And there are differences, very big differences in some ways, and yet a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I would say, I used to say that EVE Echoes is like the little sister to EVE Online, but that little sister to grow up to be Miss America or whatever. So, but yeah, we do need some structure that needs to be implemented. Yeah, in that video that I sent you, I have some crazy ideas that doesn't seem so far-fetched, but if that video is something that netties would watch and see and be like, okay, we like this, let's make this game, then I would be pretty sure that we would have so much more players, so much more. And that would pay for the game, that would pay for that they would pay netties enough money so we do not need all this money sinks that they have. But all right, so thank you so much, Elondria, for being here. And there is so much we could talk about. Of course, if people want us to talk a little bit more in depth into other stuff that you have done, then people have to tell that in the comments. But otherwise, I feel I'm happy. I got everything I needed. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate being on the show. And if your listeners and viewers want to have me back on to discuss something, and they say so in the comments and hit that like button, I'll be happy to come back.
And tell your friends that if they have, or if they know some people that want to be on the show, then, just hit me up and we make something happen. People need to know more about other people, so.
Oh, definitely.
All right, thank you, Elondria, for being here.
Thank you.